Greetings, welcome back to Pink Oddbird. Today I'm here to share some black and white journals that I made with you, so let's go ahead and take a look. Well, it's been a long time since we've been in this environment. So I thought that I would drop in today and show you these two journals that I have made. Daisy at Tsunami Rose sent me some digitals that she made, and I love these. When I downloaded these and actually when I opened up the folder and looked at these, I was like, oh my gosh, it's all black and white. And way back, picture it, Sicily, 1912. I made a black and white journal, and in that black and white journal I used a bunch of scraps. Anyway, so I thought it would be fun because I was absolutely loving this kind of like this minimalistic sort of look that Daisy has. If you look at her YouTube and her Etsy store, tsunamirose.net, she's got a pretty minimalistic logo, and just I like the style. Of course, I immediately wanted to start working with this kit because I'm working on Happy Mail still, and I need to get more of my Happy Mail done. So both of these are going to be sent out to some sweet ladies as part of Happy Mails. It's a black and white kit. I will link to it down in the description box below. So I made two journals, and they're both fabric covered. And on these journals, I did do batting on the inside of them. So they do have that, where I do that sometimes, and sometimes I just like to have it just with the fabric and, you know, the structure underneath. And as you can see, the fabric really represents what the kit is basically just like. I mean, even just looking at this, you can see how similar it is. So since the kit is black and white, and I really was loving this black and white minimalistic look, I wanted to kind of keep the same motif inside of the books. So these are mostly the same on the inside. Obviously, this one is going to have a little bit more textiles in it. It's got lace and fabric in it. And this one is just beautiful and minimalistic. They're both beautiful. So here's the closures. Sorry, silk on both of them. And it's just a regular stitch there. So on the inside cover, I made one large pocket, and I used scraps from the cutoff of the cover, just stitched them on. Just extra little scraps and bits and a couple of Hermelinda tags on the front inside cover here. So some of the pages are cardstock. I just made some collages. There are some of Daisy's jars. And what I like about this kit is if you wanted to, you could always go in and color it with whatever you want to color it with. Distress crayons, distress inks, color pencils, markers, if you want to add pops of colors here and there, or you can just leave it black and white. And so I kind of like this because it really is like a blank canvas. So here I made something that's kind of a cross between a Franken page and a Franken tag. It's not quite either, but it's something in between. But I left these just paper clipped on, or even just glue them down how they are and make them pockets, or, you know, I don't know. I just think they're a really neat element to have in the book. So here I made some as well, but these are obviously more shaped like just regular tags. All of the little pieces of ephemera that you see like this actually come from pages just like this is basically what a page would look like, and you'll see some of those pages here in the book. But in some of those pages, what you can do, like I did, is you can cut out all of these little bits, and then you have a bunch of ephemera that you can use. And that's kind of what I did. Like literally you can make it rain with ephemera, with how much ephemera comes in this kit, if you choose to use it that way. You can also just leave the page whole, but you can also cut them up and they can be little bits of ephemera. So you'll see an example of what I'm talking about here soon. There's another pocket. They come with postcards as well. And of course there's an envelope here, just a little tuck spot that I made out of some of the pieces that I cut out. Some fabric. It's another one of those tags. So I did some stamping. There's some sari silk, lots of washi tape. So here's one of those pages that I'm talking about. And if you can see here, you can absolutely use these as pages. You can use them as collage pages for the background. And essentially what I did, kind of like with what you saw here, is I deconstructed a lot of the pages that came like this and then kind of reconstructed them into different types of collages. So that's just another way that you can use this kit. I love it. So here, another tuck spot, and I just sewed those pieces on. So each book is going to have a large one like this and then a smaller one. There's a tuck spot here and here, and this also flips out. So I have been working on these journals around the organizational series that I'm doing. So I'm almost done with that series. This is actually a pocket also. I'm almost done with that series, so we'll be moving on from that soon, but I hope you guys are enjoying that, and I thought it would be fun to just come in and do some journal shares with you guys, because it's been since last year, I think. So in the envelope I have a little tag and a postcard, and then there's also another jar. There's my stamp, and then in the back there's another pocket with a large cardstock tag, and that is it. So that's that one, and I will do an even quicker flip of the other book because it's very similar, just minus all the textiles. And I forgot to tell you something about this book. So these books, like I mentioned before, I wanted everything in here to be pretty much just black and white only. And in order to achieve that, what I did with my papers, I wanted them to not be like flat, and so I was like, I still want them to have that textural element, but I don't want them to be stained like coffee or tea. So what I did was I water stained them. So instead of dipping them in coffee or anything, I dipped them in water, and then I just did my same process. So I still have a neat textured paper, but without color. So I was like, oh yeah, that's absolutely perfect, because I think that the little ridges and bumps that you get when you do the coffee staining helps add another textural layer, and I wanted to really have that because the cardstock pages obviously are already flat, but these pages you have that little texture minus the color. So I was really trying to stay on theme here. So I did do some stamping. Everything's in black and white. All the washi I used is black and white. Another tuck spot here. And that's it. So these are my two new black and white journals, and I really hope that you guys love these. I did so much. Thank you for sending these images to me, Daisy. I really enjoyed working with these, and I think that it's so versatile because you can leave it black and white like this, coffee stain it and make it look aged. You can add another color to it or colors and make it look a different way. So I think I will be using these a lot this year because they're really neat blank canvases, and you can use them as a whole. You can break them down and use them in smaller bits. I think it's so genius. So thank you, Daisy. So that is going to wrap it up for me for now. Be sure to stay tuned because you never know what direction this odd flock of ours is heading into. And until next time, toodaloo.